Yo,
What's going on?
what up, Khalil?
Yep, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Not much, brother. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, bro?
Good, bro. Good to hear you. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, we're gonna start the call in just 5 minutes. Want to get more people on the call and we get started. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Gotcha.
Are you on?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Did I want me to mute myself or?
Sure.
Oh, you got Oreos?
Yeah, I got Oreos, bro.
This is weird.
2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, Tyler?
What up, man?
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start the call.
Yo, it's Snowden. No, Snowden. He's the white guy that like hacked into everything in America. He looks like Tyler.
What movie is that from?
No, it's a real life story.
Oh, for real? Sheesh. This is kind of awkward.
Do you have the mic on?
Yeah.
It's not muted.
Oh.
Khalil could hear
Did you
us.
guys not hear anything?
Okay, so as you guys know, we do start off with personal development. This call is going to be deeply rooted into developing us as individuals. We're gonna focus on the tangible things like this trade setups and focusing on using harmonics. But as of like right now, we're gonna focus on the individual and how to build that up. Today I was with the pleasure of hanging out with Chris and Borja, and it was, I mean, I was a student the whole way. I mean, there was no time for me not to learn something new, and it would be wrong with me not to share that with you guys. Louis and Alejandro, you guys know what it's like to have a dynamic with Chris, but today I got a different dynamic. It was more genuine than anything else that I've ever had with him, and I had the pleasure of seeing the new growth within him. It was like, this is a whole different level, and he inspired me now to make a humongous change, a couple of changes that I want to share. But yeah, I want to play this video. I am not really, as you guys know, I'm not really a church guy. I'm not Christian, Catholic, or any denomination as far as Christianity or religious is in any kind of way. I'm more just a spiritual person, but I do want to find something that is my calling in terms of spirituality. I tried mostly everything except Jewish. I don't know what the technical term of that is, but yeah, and it just wasn't for me at that time. But I am going to reconsider trying new things and developing a relationship with some type of spirituality, because I see the benefits of that with other people, especially on the team. And I feel like if I was to implement that into my daily routine, that would change my life detrimentally. Sorry. I just got off a workout and like my head is still like kind of spinning. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and start this video. It's not gonna be too long, but it's from Elevation Church, if you guys know. That's like, I consider the pastor a really good pastor, especially because of the way he can relate to our generation. But he talks about the three habits to a healthy heart. And today it hit heavy, especially with the conversations we were having. And I think everybody on this call is going to benefit from this video. So you guys just go ahead and watch it. You guys should be able to hear it. Let me know if you don't.
Different is good. Different is fun. We're all different.
So we need different plans to lose weight.
You guys
I
hear
shared
it?
a teaching with our staff a couple weeks ago. What was it, about 2 months ago? And I came in and taught this teaching called 3 Habits of a Healthy Heart. And several of them said, you need to share that with the church. And I couldn't find a good weekend to share it because of all of the scheduling. And well, when I realized we would have to postpone our series for a week, I thought, this is the time. This is the window for me to share this with you. So I want to teach you a little bit today. You may be seated. Thank you for your enthusiasm in God's presence today. This teaching is going to require your full attention. And I don't just mean with your mind, I mean your emotional attention. And kind of while I get set up here to teach you today, 3 habits of a healthy heart. How many know real lasting change has to happen in your heart? Talk to me, please. I said, how many know real lasting change has to happen in your heart? Can't just be in your behavior. You really have to fundamentally change your belief. And that's kind of what the psalmist is talking about in Psalm 119, verse 112. There aren't many chapters in the Bible that have 112 verses. I think Psalm 119 is on record as the longest chapter in the Bible. It's constructed grammatically in a specific way that we won't go into in this class. I kind of want to teach a little bit today, if that's all right. Is it all right if I don't even shout or holler or anything? If you wanted to hear me holler, you should have come to the praise party. We had an amazing time saying good morning, midnight, because we welcome not only a new year, but we welcomed our challenges this year, knowing that often our calling is contained in our challenges if we learn how to see it correctly. Everything begins with perspective, and the perspective of the psalmist in Psalm 119 is kind of all over the place. I think he's dealing with some inner issues, and getting beyond the grammar of the psalm, we can know a little bit of the intention of it, because the psalmist says in 112, I incline my heart to perform your statutes forever to the end. Forever to the end. I want this to last. I don't just want to see some changes in my life for a few weeks in January. Come on, somebody. I didn't hand them my gym membership and sign up for a year just to be eating chocolate by Valentine's Day. I want to see some lasting change in my life this year. Psalmist said, I incline my heart. It has to happen within, not just the behavior, but the belief that drives the behavior has to change, or the change won't stay. We found this out over and over again. Every new year we learn it again. And so lasting change is what I'm after, and I incline my heart. Interesting choice of words. If you incline something, that means that it was naturally not in that position. That means you had to act upon it in order to orient it in a different direction, right? So we don't incline something that's already upright. Must have meant that his heart was declined. And the problem with a lot of us is we go through life reclined. That is just however we wake up, that's how we stay. However we feel, that's how we act. The psalmist said, I act upon my attitude and I incline my heart. Did you know you're in charge of your heart? Quit saying people broke your heart. They can't break it if you don't give it to them. Hey, hey. And so he said, I'm setting my heart in the direction of heaven. I wonder, is your heart set in a divine direction today? Incline my heart. I don't think this is something you do like one time, you know? You just incline your heart to God when you were 12 at summer Bible camp and you never were tempted again. I think we want it to be that way. I want it to be like the infomercial. Do you remember the infomercial with the rotisserie, Showtime rotisserie oven? And the man said, set it and forget it. That's how I want my heart to be, like that infomercial. Set it and forget it. I want my heart to just stay there, you know? Just, hey, I went to church first Sunday in January. That ought to get me by. I said it, but the psalmist said it's not enough to set it and forget it. He said it's more like you set it, you check it, you reset it, you check it, because all through your day and all through your year, your heart is going to be tempted to decline to a default position. And maybe it's a default position of discouragement or despair or dysfunction. But when you take charge of your heart, touch your neighbor, say, take charge of your heart. That's what the writer of Proverbs said. It's not just the psalmist that did it. The writer of Proverbs said, guard your heart. It's your heart. And that's where the issues of life flow from. So before we can get the windows working, we got to get our hearts open. Hey man, the doctor was fussing at me a couple months ago about my cholesterol. Lets me know I'm getting on up there in age. I never had a conversation like this with the doctor before. And he just talking, blah, 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 LDL, HDL, triglyceride, all this stuff. And I know we could tell he wasn't getting through to me because he took a real drastic turn. He said, hey, I don't want you to be one of those guys who looks real fit on the outside, which made me feel happy that he said that about me. But then one day you're just outside running and you just fall over of a heart attack. And to listen to me. And I corrected him. I said, doctor, I know you got some degrees that I don't have and all that, but you're wrong about that. I don't run. So if I fall over, it's not going to be on cardio. But he said, you can be blocked on the inside, look good on the outside, and be successful and fall over, and be sexy and fall over, and be married and fall over. Come on, get a promotion and fall over. Be religious and fall over. It has to happen in the heart, but it doesn't start with the heart. It starts with the habits. Your habits create the condition of your heart. It is good. You got to stop and clap for the word God speaks through you. I feel like God is going to help somebody set your heart on things above. Get your heart set in the right direction, but it's going to require some habits. And they're all right there in the psalm. I want to read.
So I'm going to go ahead and stop it here, guys, because I don't want to take too much of your time. But I wanted to jump straight into diving into the real talk about what we're going to have a conversation about today. And what I learned from hanging out with these guys. One, they're not on a different level because they're not better than any other person on this call. But the choices that they made, the decisions to change their life, right, are monumental compared to a layman deciding to go to the gym after Christmas for a New Year resolution, or a person that has abundance of self-pity that can't get out the rut that he or she is in. These individuals have shown me, tell me all you want, but shown me the the decisive, movement forward to make change within themselves to then show to us and everyone. When I was with Chris and Borgia, one, it was all love. Now let me explain it. Chris, 6-7-figure earner. Borgia, very successful, growing his team to, it's monumental. I mean, his momentum is up there, and is also successful within other avenues of life. But these two individuals, one did not have to give their time or energy to me. I texted, they answered, and he was like, come to the gym. Let's hang out for the day, which is, if you know Chris and you're really good friends with Chris, you know that, there's a reason why he's asked you to come over. And usually you're going to get, a deep, and not necessarily a lecture, but you're going to get a lesson for sure. But this lesson was different. It was a lot more personal. It was, he decided to take away the mentorship and then put on the friend, outfit for the first time. And that was the first time that I genuinely felt that. And what we talked about today was, one of the first things that we talked about was the art of overthinking everything, right? So one of my issues, and I'm gonna be really transparent with you, is that over the past week, I've developed severe anxiety because I tend to overthink situations. Now, for anybody on this call that has ever experienced anxiety, severe anxiety, the intense heartbeats, the lack of mind, you're just not there mentally, you're scared, your body trembles, it's intense. That has caused me to lose hours and hours and hours of sleep. Now, one of the things that I noticed within not sleeping was my health was deteriorating. Now, most people think, you get 4 hours of sleep, you'll be good. No, if you do that consistently on a day-to-day basis, you can die, literally. I immediately texted Chris because he was the only person I knew that could give me some advice on this. I was like, dude, I cannot sleep. Do you know anything I can do? It took him 2 days to respond, which I wasn't expecting a response, but hey, he blessed me with one. And he said, okay, what are you doing tomorrow? So on and so forth. So we ended up meeting up today, and immediately he established a connection of empathy by understanding that how I feel. Now, without me saying anything, he knew it was wrong. We go through daily stresses, right? Whatever we're worried about, the lack of growth within our business, the lack of abundance within our life, in terms of anything, the lack of something. And one of the things that he said is that we have to stop expecting everything. Our expectations and assumptions are up here. What I mean by that is that when we expect and assume everything, what does that lead to? Judgment, a lot of lack of understanding, a lot of lack of empathy and sympathy, a lot of lack of caring, a lot of lack of love. That is not a characteristic of a leader. That's a characteristic of a dictator or a person that's not going to succeed, self-pity, whatever. So if you share any of those qualities like I did at that time and I wasn't aware of it, you have to learn how to let that go. So then it was, okay, he started to explain his old self and his now revised self, right? I didn't get a chance to meet the old Chris, but Lewis can testify for this. Old Chris, if you do something wrong, he's going to snap, right? The mentorship of Chris is going to snap, and it's sometimes going to be really harsh. But that was the lack of patience and the overabundance of assumption and expectation. So then I started to reflect on that on my life, and I saw how I am very patient, but I do assume and I do expect. Me being a giving person that I am, I expect people to give back. I expect people to want to do this, to want to join the business because of who I am, to want to be on my team because of who I am, to want to reach achievements of success because I talk about my dreams, I expect all these things, even in my own relationship. And I had to learn, one, that is wrong, one, that is two, that's selfish, and three, you will never get anywhere in life if you have expectations and assumptions over anybody or anything in your life. So then it was the topic of faith. What does faith really mean? Well, if you are a faithful person, then you completely remove the assumption and the expectation from the table, because you're operating on faith. Now, because I'm not a spiritual person, I really didn't understand what that meant. But to take real life example, real life application, he had to explain that to me. And me and Chris had similar backgrounds growing up. And he was telling me about a story on how, the expectation within a relationship can be the downfall of the relationship. If he was to expect that his partner was to have the same goals as him, the same drive as him, the same physical wants or aspirations that he has for his body as him, if she wanted that the same as him, then that would lead to so much judgment within that relationship that she wouldn't be comfortable to reveal her real self. And that brought back to the movie that I watched yesterday. If you've ever seen Queen and Slim, I'm going to give a quick quote from it. One of the quotes from the movie, the woman said, what I want from a man is a man to, or my man, I want my man to see my scars, acknowledge them, but allow me to caress them, allow me to grow within my scars. And a lot of times when you have expectation blocking that, Queen and Slim, a lot of times if you have expectation and assumptions blocking that leads to judgment, you're not acknowledging those scars within that person. So when I started to reflect on my life, I allowed expectation to drown every moment of my life out of me. Every good moment was turned into bad because of expectation and assumption, right? When I would, go out with my friends and we were in LA and things would go the wrong way, I'm ready to jump like I'm a soldier. I come from that lifestyle. I'd be defending my brother, breaking little kids' jaws because I'm that guy. I expect myself to be that guy. I have this proving mentality that now every time somebody steps to me, I have to react. So then this led to the second concept of true patience. True patience, right? If you learn how to be really patient, then you get to really think and contemplate on your moves and actions forward, right? So let's say that I wasn't patient, and let's say my girl decides to be very vocal to somebody because they disrespect her. And let's say I was to become my old self, make a flesh action, human nature action, and I was to just put that guy straight into the ground. He calls the cops, he sues me, I go to jail for whatever long years. Now I have a criminal record that stops my business, that can potentially stop my relationship, that can ruin anything and everything that I had going on in my life because I decided to make that flesh action. Because I was not patient enough. I'm not saying that you can't defend the person that you love, but there is a way to do it. So then there's the whole aspect of when people are talking crap about you, or let's say you run an event and somebody goes onto the front of the room and starts talking crap about IM or the company, and you just go off on them or her, that shows the lack of patience. That's not a leadership trait. But let's say you did the opposite. Let's say you were patient, you let that person finish, whatever. You ask that person, are you done? Obviously, you are the main attraction at this moment. Are you finished with your thought? What are they going to say? What are they going to say? How are they going to respond? You don't even react. Tell the person politely to leave. He or she leaves. You move on with the event. You guys hear me? We're good? You guys hear me? Okay, cool. So when it comes to developing these character traits, when it comes to becoming the leader that you would follow, you have to really dive down into the nitty-gritty, who you are as a person. So he said this one thing where it comes to actions don't define a person, it's their habits. We grew up saying that actions is what the defining moment of that person. In reality, habits is what dictates those actions. So then when I looked at my habits, yeah, my habits were mediocre for the business that I was creating, but that was the result. This is the reason why my results speak the way that they do. This is the reason why I can't sleep at night, is because my habits don't match that. My habits don't match happiness and prosperity. My habits don't match growth in my business or within myself. And he's like, I'm having a conversation with this person and he's politely, very friendly, bringing this out of me to the point where I'm becoming emotional. Then I gotta, really look at myself within my relationship. Is that, are my habits matching my relationship goals? Am I being the man that I am supposed to be to my woman? She might say yes. He or might say yes. That's on the sidelines. They might say yes. But in reality, I really have to check myself and be like, am I doing that? Most people aren't really ready to ask themselves these questions. So then I had to look at my DMO'S. What are my daily methods of operations and how can I improve them? What things can I sacrifice now so that I don't have to sacrifice them later? To be really transparent with you guys, I entered a state of retention today. I had that conversation with my girl today, and we decided that that was the best move to make. I have committed to that. I am now going to develop a level of spirituality because I know that that will impact my life on a different level. It doesn't have to be any type of religion. I'm just talking about being able to listen and practice meditation within a collective group of people that are like-minded like me. To practice spirituality with a group of people that are like-minded like me. I need that. I need to be around that. Luckily, everybody that I hang out with is spiritual, which is amazing. I cannot be so thankful for that. Because if this was any other team and we didn't have these morals, values, and goals that we have, these positive reinforcements that we give to everyone else, then we wouldn't be retaining anybody. Let's be really honest. We'd have people from all over going to other teams and quitting the company and all that. So when we're having these dialogues, I've never been with a person that has had me go through these many breakthroughs. And one day I make these humongous changes in these humongous decisions to change my life. And it took for me to decline in health for that to happen. So when we really look at the mentorship that we have as a collective group, and if you're struggling right now because you think that you lack mentorship or lack growth, first, you guys got to also understand that this person that we call a mentor is not predicated on our individual well-being, meaning he is not going to reach out to you first to ask how you're doing. He is a human being as well. So let's start treating him as such. Let's reach out to him. Let's talk to him about something that's not business. Let's talk to him about something that is related to you that can help you. Let's ask him questions about you, not the business, not trading. Because at the end of the day, who wants to talk about that all day? Let's be realistic. So then when I took the idol out of it and I presented him as a human being, as a friend, these impactful moments that we shared were crazy. Him and Borja. Borja broke down his move on how he blew up the Philippines, Australia, and Washington State. All he did was get 2 people in those individual places, went on a leap of faith, packed out an event, and had 15 people sign up in each place. Now it's a continuous movement of flow of people. So when it comes to building the business, trading, I started to really realize, like, damn, if my DMOs don't match that, then how am I going to succeed? I had to go back down to the surface, the foundation. And if you have a shaky foundation, if you get knocked down, how are you going to get yourself back up? So then I had to reconfigure my foundation. Working out, meditation. Thank you, Ricardo and Arnessa, for the Headspace app. That has changed my life. Developing some type of spirituality and perfecting my craft. In any of that, there's nothing that says money. I'm not focused on that. I can care less. At this point in my life, I can give 2 craps about a dollar bill at this point. Why? Because then there was the second part of the mentorship. And this is what broke through. This is when I saw that everything that he said meant something in my life. Was talking about the calls, and I was talking about every individual that gets on these calls every day or every time I do them. I was expecting, an all honest truth, a rejection from them. Any other leader, let's be real, any other person would say that I am unqualified to do these calls. Can you guys hear me? Good. It took 2 individuals that believed in me, Lewis and Chris. Lewis first believed in me to do this. And the impact that I have received from this has been amazing. Thank you, Lewis, for that. But then we started talking about service. If anybody wants to be successful in this business, you have to learn the power of service. This is not about you. So if you're in here just trading, let's be realistic. You are being selfish. Let's be real. I'm not asking you to go build humongous teams. I'm not asking you to go to different countries and create a movement. But if you did not mention this to 2 people in your life, you are selfish. At least 2 people. Now let me explain why. If you make $1 million tomorrow, if you make $10 million tomorrow, if you make $1 billion tomorrow, maybe your problems go all away. Your current debt, your wants, your dreams, your aspirations will be revealed. That will be given to you. But will that make you happy? Type of 111 in the chat if you got $1 billion. That would make you. That would help you sustain happiness throughout your life. Be real. If money is your objective, if that's what you want in life, type of 111 in the chat. So then I really thought about what gave me satisfaction. What satisfied me? These calls. Every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, when I do these calls, it is a level of satisfaction. It's a high. The reason why is because when I get the fire emojis in the Telegram, when I get people DM me on Instagram for questions and I'm able to give them breakthroughs, and it changes their perspective on trading to where they love it now, any dollar in the world wouldn't make me happier than that. That's a fact. That's a fact. So when we started talking about service, and he not only approved, but gave me a better way of doing it, helped me perfect this call, it changed my whole perspective on what a true leader is. I had to take in the quality of complimenting everybody else's success. Most times we shy away from that. If you're on this call and you haven't ranked up and you finally rank up tomorrow, everybody on this call that isn't that person needs to be complimenting you. We need to celebrate that. Because that's real love. That's real, genuine love. We need to reciprocate that all over. Make that our team mission. Other team can be money. Other team can be, the fame, the amount of leaders that they produce. But at the end of the day, if we can prove to everyone else that we develop individuals that perspire in longevity of health, happiness, and love, you don't think that everyone on this team will make money? Imagine if we build a culture where it's developing individuals personally, spiritually, mentally, and physically. And that's how we attacked the built in taking over in cities, schools, countries, so on and so forth. Imagine if that was the mission. Instead of the money, instead of the Wi-Fi money, and there's nothing against any of the teams. That's how they do it. That's how you do it. Love for all of them. But I can see every individual on this call is not about that. So when it came down to these monumental breakthroughs, I had to really, one, appreciate what he was giving me, and two, really understand the act of not doing this for yourself, but doing this for everyone else. So what I want every individual to do right now is to really think about what is your daily methods of operation? And does your daily methods of operation match your goals? If you're new, if you're not even in the company, what do you do on a day-to-day basis that matches that on a day-to-day basis, your habits, do they match your goals in the long run? And if they don't, and you don't know how to make them match, find your leaders that put you on and ask them those questions. I guarantee you, if you went to Christopher Derrick and asked him, my DMOs don't match my goals, can you help me formulate new ones? You think he would say no? I guarantee you, he will respond to you in 2 seconds saying, when can we meet up? We're so focused on asking him questions on how to start a brokerage account or how to even, draw support and resistance, how to take a trade, when is the best time to enter, but we don't really ask him the questions that matter. So everybody tonight, the goal for everyone tonight is to formulate or ask your leader if you don't have great DMOs. If your DMOs don't match your goals for 2020, for next month, for tomorrow, ask your leader or ask the leader in your area. Because I guarantee you, they will help you. Next thing I want everyone to do is to really be specific when you write down goals for 2020. I sent Lewis a picture of my goals today. I changed them up completely. They are different. I was very vague. It's specific now. It's step by step what I need to do. Create a game plan. And if you don't know how to create a game plan for what you want, ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Ask somebody to help you create a game plan. Because then if you have a concise, if you have an easy to understand game plan for 2020, and then you knock each step out, before you even look back, you were so subconsciously following the game plan that you reached the place that you wanted to be. Whether that's P1000, whether that's 400,000 in the brokerage account, whether that's a team in every place that you've been at or grew up in. So Before we get into the setups and everything, I want everybody to go ahead and type in the chat what you feel like you need to change before December 31st or before January 1st. And if you don't feel like typing in the chat, I want you guys to think about and be very vague. You don't have to be specific, but be very vague and think about what you need to change before the new year hits. Think about all the bad habits, all the things that you don't like about yourself. Think about those and then figure out what you need to do to change those. The point of the sermon was three ways to a healthy heart. The reason why he said, if you don't change your habits, then you will never find happiness. That's important because your habits dictate your life. So if you have bad habits, make an effort to change them. Everybody does. It's okay. It's a part of being human. If you judge people based off of their bad habits, you're weak. But let's be honest with ourselves. Let's make that change. Okay, so type of one in the chat if you've gotten value from this. And also, this is going to be the time for every individual to go ahead and type in any questions or concerns that they have involving trading. They can be anything. If I can't answer them at that moment, I will go ahead and message you privately via Telegram or Instagram. For instance, any brokerage account issues or any setting up TradingView issues that you might have. So you guys have 5 minutes to go ahead and get those questions in the chat box. And I'm going to get the whole the harmonics and everything set up. Thank you guys very much.
Hey there, shoe wearer. Let's talk shoes. First.
Okay. So today we're going to be going over harmonics and how to properly use harmonics within your trading style. Now, this is for any trading style if you involve your trading style, harmonics within your trading style. So, and also I'm going to answer John's question really fast. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I just want to go to the chat box. All right, cool. So John asked how to correctly meditate, how to follow path into veganism, how to come up with the best game plan to not just help the team, but others as well. In the process, become the best version of myself. And what is one DMO you value most? So the first DMO that I value most is hydration, because that's the first thing that I do every morning. The power of that is because, and this is scientifically proven, that the moment that you hydrate your body becomes alive, meaning that the moment that water intakes your body in the morning, your body starts to activate its digestive system, its nervous system. Your brain starts to wire itself to focus on that day. So hydration is key to starting that day. Now, what I drink is water with lemon and Himalayan pink salt. One, the salt helps the water taste better, and the lemon is help for I forget the term for it, but basically helping the toxic waste being moved throughout the body. How to correctly meditate. Ricardo and Arnessa sent me an app called Headspace. I believe it's a free app, but if you want, you can pay like the $15.99 a month, and it gives you the pro version of it, which gives you everything. I recommend going all in and just going and getting that a month. You need it. That app walks you through how to meditate your style. Now, there's no proper way of meditation, but that app will help you develop your own way of meditation, right? So I definitely recommend downloading the app. It is called Headspace. Type it into Android or Google or your app store, and it will go ahead and pop up. How to follow the path into becoming vegan. That is a question I would ask Lewis, because there is differences between veganism and plant-based. When you go into that, you have to understand the reasons why you want to go vegan. So I would recommend going ahead and asking Lewis that question. He can go ahead and answer that for you. How to come up with the best game plan. So your game plan is determined based off of your goals. So whatever your goals are, right, that is going to help you dictate the finish line. In order for you to find the finish line, find how to get there, you have to have a destination. So create a destination, be very specific, and then if you don't know how to get to those destinations, you have to ask your leader. Whoever your leader is can help you with that. With the game plan itself, you also have to come up with goals that you believe in. If you don't believe that you can reach those goals, then don't write them down. You have to do some developing within yourself. So if you want to become a billionaire by 2020, but you don't believe that you're a billionaire already, don't write it down. do some personal development, and figure out what your goal is realistically. I'm not saying that it's not realistic for any individual on here to go onto that journey and become a billionaire by 2020. That is very realistic. But you guys have to believe that. So if you believe it, you can achieve it. Now, as far as once you have that destination draw down, I, Luis, Ricardo, Arnessa, Alejandro can help you if it's a building. If it's trading, I can definitely help you with that. Just you have to create those goals. And cool. So, and if you have great DMOs, if you have non-negotiables that you do, like going to the gym, meditation, church every day, or whatever it is that helps you run your business the best, then you need to do those every day. Consistency. We talked about consistency within the business, but you have to be consistent in every way of your life. So if you're not consistent every day, you're doing your DMOs, and every day you're doing your non-negotiables, then you won't be consistent on social media. You won't be consistent building the business. You won't be consistent trading. You won't be consistent in any form of your life. So I say, and this is something that I formulated today, was first things first, just tackle the DMOs. Do it step by step. First thing first, do the DMOs. Once that's done, then you work on the non-negotiables that you need to do at that time that you wake up. Then that's when you formulate your day. That's when you go and attack the day. But if you get those done first, you already won. You won the day. So focus on that. That is the key. That is where I failed at. That is why I reached that level of anxiety and stress, because I wasn't focused on the foundation. I didn't start from ground one again. I needed to come back down. I needed to be humbled. Once I was humbled, that's when I started to see, okay, I need to go back to ground one. I need to focus on the basics first, and then get up to the top. So that's how I would recommend it. Also, like Lewis said, write everything down. If you treat this like a hobby, you will get hobby results. Treat it like a business. Become a businessman. Write it down. Whether that's on a whiteboard, whether that's on your phone or your iPad, write it down. Whether it's on paper or even in front of your book, write it down. Okay. To answer Alejandro, I hope that answered every question that you asked. If you have any other questions, go ahead and just DM me privately, and I can go ahead and answer those for you. Alejandro said, could you go over how to detect and catch fake harmonic patterns on the scanner? Yes, sometimes the scanner goes based off wicks. Also, I was looking into the different numbers that each different pattern has to meet to be an accurate harmonic scanner and not get faked out, if it makes sense. So to clarify on that, Alejandro, there are specific percentages that they have to follow to be a good harmonic scanner move. I don't trade harmonic patterns. I use them as an indication for a good pair. So I won't be able to answer that second question for you, but I can definitely tell you how to detect fake harmonic patterns, or necessarily non-high profitable harmonic patterns. That's a better term to use. So, and that's exactly what I'm going to go over today. So any other questions? Okay, cool. So, yep, I just got it too. You already know. That's going to help you. That's going to help you formulate those goals. So can you guys see my screen? Everybody see my screen? Yep, cool. So right now I'm looking at the harmonic scanner for individuals that just got started today or recently. This is the #1 tool that is on the academy, right? Yes, you have Gold Cup, yes, you have DeLorean and all those other products, but Harmonic Scanners has created the most testimonials within the company, trading-wise, for every individual that trades. Why? Because it does all the work for you. Now, I want to make that clear or more specific. There's algorithms that are placed within a code, and then that is created the harmonic scanner. It's a scanner that goes into the market and automatically finds patterns within the market. Now, if you're a harmonic trader, you want to get very more specific. You want to look at the percentages and so on and so forth, but I am not a harmonics trader, so I won't be able to answer that for you. Now, how to use a harmonic scanner in your trading style. So let's say you are a price trap trader or a support and resistance trader, naked trader, if you want to call it that. so many different terms that you can use, but let's say you're one of those, right? And let's say you get to the harmonic scanner and you see this. Okay, so let me show you how to dictate a great pattern. First things first is you want to look at the pair as a whole. As a whole. You don't want to look at it all zoomed in like this because this doesn't tell you anything. You don't want to just be all out like this because sometimes this doesn't tell you anything either. You want to look at it as a whole. So that means taking off the specific glasses and looking at it from a wider perspective, right? So look at this pair, right? Minus the harmonic pattern. Look at where the pair, look at where price is at currently, right? Price came up all the way up here to where it was a major ceiling and it didn't break it. So what did I say in the previous calls? When price doesn't break that ceiling, it comes back down. So when price came back down, shot all the way to the bottom. Now, price is currently at the bottom. Now, what is at the bottom with price? Major support levels or a floor. So when you're looking for harmonic patterns, you want to see if price is close to that major ceiling or major floor. If you see that, one indication that it's a probable harmonic pattern. So you go to the harmonic pattern and you see this. For me, I wouldn't consider it a profitable one because the pair itself isn't really there. I mean, this isn't really the best harmonic pattern. A better one that I can show you that looks clean is this, or even this. This right here, if you see this, perfect. That's what you want to see. It's a bigger harmonic pattern, meaning the pattern is bigger in terms of the chart, which means it can be potentially more powerful. So if you've seen a clean setup like this is a profitable harmonic pattern. Something that you want to keep in mind. That's what you want to see. So creating your trading journal, what you write down is potential setups. Then you go to the harmonic scanner and you see, oh, GBP, JPY, or GBP odd has a profitable harmonic pattern. GBP odd, that's your first one. Then you go to AUD, JPY. You see this, it is a bigger harmonic pattern. But is it close to the support and resistance zones? You can say yeah. So you write AUD, JPY. Then you go to NZD CAD. Kind of. But then you go to GBP JPY and you see that it's touching major resistance levels. It's got a clear, concise zone, GBP JPY. So now I at least get 3 pairs on my potential trading journal, or my potential setups on my trading journal. And then I focus on those 3 pairs. Don't overwhelm yourself. If you overwhelm yourself, you will lose, okay? If you guys are asking questions, I don't have the chat box open. Give me 1 second. Okay, cool. Is price right now close enough to the support to consider the confirmation? In terms of what pair, Alejandro? USD CHF. Okay, let me see. Okay, cool. Okay, USD CHF. Is price close enough to the support? Yes, it is close enough. If you drew the support level right here, okay. Also, you guys can draw on the harmonic scanner. Please use it because you can draw on it. So I draw my lines and boxes, right? If you don't know how to use TradingView, I recommend going to the basics and then going to technical analysis. Christopher Derrick himself breaks that all down. Easy, right? That's it, guys. There you go. So this is the second part to using harmonics if you are a naked trader. Price has come down to, let's say price crosses the zone, retests and drops. You take your entry at the retest and then vice versa. So the reason why I say not to focus on pairs that aren't close to the support and resistance zones, just look at a pair that isn't close. Let's see. Okay, this one, right? This is a bad setup. One, it's over with. It's already done what it's supposed to do, meaning that it's at a stop loss. But also, is it nearing any support or resistance levels that are major? No, it's stuck in the middle. So if you were to trade this, not knowing its potential direction, why would you even look at it? There's no point. There's no harmonic pattern active right now. It's just not a good pair to trade. So you would scrap this one as a non-potential setup. Let's get another one. Let's see another one. This is actually a good setup, actually. Cool. So that's one. This one also. This is kind of stuck in tight consolidation, but the setup isn't clear enough to dictate where price can potentially go if it broke that zone. There's no clear detection of a zone that you can draw, so don't focus on it. You want to focus on the zones that are very clear. So when people say, you have to trade every day, if there's not a setup active, don't trade. Why would you trade if there's no setup active? You're forcing the market. That's stupid. Just be patient. Be patient. Think about it. If you caught 60 pips every time you traded, let's say you traded 2 times that week, that's 120 pips. Why would you risk losing 60 pips within those other 2 days when you can just be patient? It's supposed to be a very relaxed profession. It's not supposed to be stressful. So if you're sitting here stressed about a trade, you need to go back to the academy. You need to talk to your leader. You need to even DM me because you're not supposed to have anxiety trading. It's supposed to be very risk-free. You're supposed to be able to take high profitable setups, get your money, get out, wait for the next one. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. It's not supposed to be overcomplicated. It's very simple, but when people overcomplicate it, you're going to lose. So when using harmonics, you want to focus on the high probable setups. So then here's the next step. Okay, so I got USD CHF. So I go to my phone, right? This is where my trading journal is. I go to notes. I go to trading journal. See? Trading journal, right? Trading journal. I write potential setups. And this is going to be done on paper as well. USD, CHF. I got GBP, JPY, and I also had AUD, JPY as well that actually, no, I don't like that one. Which one was it? Is it NZD CAD? It might be NZD CAD. Yeah, NZD CAD. We usually don't trade NZD pairs, but if it's a profitable pair, I might mess with it. Is there any more that I like? Nah. 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 Wait, hold on. This might actually be a good one. Okay, Euro GBP. Okay, so I have 4 pairs that I'm looking at. What do I do next? When should people move their stop loss entry? So you should move your stop loss to entry when the second retest happens, or you're in 10 pips, 15 pips profit. So there's 2 ways to go about it. What I do is I do twin trading. So let's say my goal is to trade only 5% of my account. I'll do a, so let's say I have $100 account and I want to risk $5 on a loss. That would be a 2.5. Well, let's say I want to risk 3%, right? So what I would do is I would put my stop loss 30 pips or 20 pip or 15 pips, and I would twin it, meaning I would take two 0.01s, two trades. I would enter sell or buy twice, and I would put my stop loss at each point. Now the first trade, right, and this is all on video and documented in the academy that you can go see and watch, and it will answer all your questions. But the first trade, if I'm twin trading, the first trade, I'm waiting for it to go 20 pips in profit. Once it hits 20 pips, I'm out. I just secured 20 pips. Okay. So on a 0.01, that's $2. On a 0.1, that's $20. And on a 10 standard lots, which is a 10.00, that's a $200 profit. So after that, 10.00 is a $2,000 profit. Excuse me. So after that, after I close that one trade, I have a second trade going. Now this is my trade that's trailing the trend if it continues a trend. So after I'm up 20 pips in profit or a second retest has happened, I am moving my stop loss 10 pips in profit. If you're and to show you this, I'll go ahead and show you guys this. So in the real market, for you guys to see this, let's say I was trading GBP odd. GBP odd, right? Let's scrap this. Actually, let's leave that up. But let's say I entered right here. Let's say this was my entry, hypothetically, right? My point of entry, right? At the bottom. And I bought it, meaning I'm betting on it to go up. I would enter twice right here, and then I would close my trade, my first initial trade right here. My first trade gets closed right here, right? So I have another trade going. I would then wait for the retest to fully happen, and then I would move my stop loss on my second trade right here. So now I just got 20 pips in profit, or I don't know how many this is. To be very exact with you guys, it's definitely not 128 pips. Well, it might be. Let's say this is 20 pips. So I got my 20 pips in profit, and then I waited for the retest, and I put my stop loss right here. So now that other trade that I have going is going to continue to go all the way up to here. So this is how you milk the market. You enter two entries right here. You close your first trade right here. Let's say this is 129 pips. You on a 0.01 just made $10 or $12. I'm sorry. After that, from here, I move my stop loss to the second retest. My second trade, I just caught 413 pips, meaning that on a 0.01, I just made $40. On a 0.1, I just made $413. On a 1.0, a standard lot, I just made $4,000. Do you guys understand that? Anybody have any questions on it? Now's the time to ask. Okay, understood. What do you mean, what initial investment? Like, how much am I risking? Oh, how much money? So The rule of thumb is for proper risk management is 0.01 for every $100. Lewis has it right here. So if you put $100 in your account, you should only be leveraging 0.01 within that trade. So with a 0.01, if I held that all the way up to the top, that was 413 pips. The equivalent of that converted into dollars from a 0.01 is a $41 profit. So this all depends on how much equity you have in the account, and this all depends on what leverage, what lot size you take. So once again, this is all in the academy. If you have questions on how to find it in the academy, it's in the series 1 section. The basics, the very, very basics, they explain this. Once you watch that, then you'll get a better understanding of what to risk and how to risk it based on your account. Okay, so to go to the second part of the checklist that I have for my trading style, I go to TradingView. Remember, I had USD CHF, I had GBP JPY, I had NZD CAD, and then I had Euro GBP. I focus on those pairs. So I delete these highlights, and I look at, okay, USD CHF, GBP JPY, yeah, Euro GBP. Oh, oops. And then I had NZD CAD. Okay, so these are pairs I'm looking at today. Right, so I go to NZD CAD. I have my previous level right here. I'm then gonna move it down to right here where I drew it on the harmonic. So this is my support zone or a floor. My ceiling stays the same. Bam. Okay. Price has to break it, going up, come back down, and then create a new level or a new floor, and then shoot back up. I take my entry. Right here, and then vice versa for the other way. Breaks it going down, meaning a candle closes under that. And I'll show you that for everybody that's new on here too, because I know we got some new individuals on here. It's okay, I'm going ahead and take care of you guys too. That's what this is for. Don't get scared, don't get discouraged. This is all a part of the learning process. I mean, everybody on this call was confused at some point. So don't get discouraged. If you're discouraged, then you have to really think about, is this for you? This is a very, very, very powerful trading. Trading is a very powerful skill set. If you can learn how to do it, you'll feed yourself for the rest of your life. But you have to be willing to go through it. That's why DMO'S, that's why your personal development is so important, because if you can't deal with this, then you need to recheck what's going on in your life. So now, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking for price to, let me show you. I'm looking for price to come down here and close, meaning that a candle shows up right there. And then I'm looking for price to come back up, meaning a candle, like a candle creates right here, and then a ceiling is created, and then for it to shoot down. And then vice versa, the other way. Come back down, consolidate, shoot back up. So to give you a visual representation of that, okay, cool. So a visual representation of that, right? Bam, right here, bingo. So I draw my floor, my ceiling right here. I draw my floor right here. Right? Let's backtrack. Rewind, right? Cool. So you see it? Price has to break, retest this previous level of resistance. Now it creates it as a floor and goes back up. And the opposite the other way. So let's play this scenario out so you guys can see it live, right? This is all live, or not live, but this is a replay of what happened. Price comes up, comes up, comes up, comes up, breaks it, break, like closed. Keeps breaking it, keeps breaking it, keeps breaking it, keeps breaking it, keeps breaking it. Bam. 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 Now, where do you see the retest? Because you guys didn't see the retest right here, but it did happen. The way you find the retest, you go into the 15-minute. Okay? You go into the 15-minute. Look what happened. Price broke and then came back down. Created a level of support. So your entry would be right here. Right here. And you rode it all the way up. So I'm saying my rule of thumb is I draw on the 1 hour and then I look for entries on the 15-minute. Remember this, I draw on the 1 hour and I look for entries on the 15-minute. Let me repeat it again so everybody can write it down. I draw on the 1 hour and I look for entries on the 15-minute chart. Okay, so draw my support and resistance. Then I go to the 15. Once I see that it's coming up on the support and resistance zone, I go to the 15-minute and I wait for the retest. Once I see that retest, I take the entry. Very simple, guys. Very simple. So to now go back to present day, right? Which is this. I'm waiting for the same exact thing. The same exact thing. Okay, Euro GBP. This is kind of choppy, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm not saying that this is going to happen tonight, but let's draw just to see what's going to happen, right? So price is coming up on this major support level. We have to look for a break and retest for that to be considered a sell, for this to be considered a buy. Very simple, guys. For me to be considered this a buy, price would have to break this zone. Why do I say that? Because if price broke this zone, it doesn't really tell me anything. Yeah, it broke this, but it's broken that before. A fake move could happen right here. I'm waiting for price to come back down here and come back up, or come down here and cross it and go back down. USD CHF. Erase this. Okay, same thing, same exact thing, guys. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Right here. Right here. Bam. Bam. Okay, so that's 3 out of 4 that I got done. Last one. Oh, this one's already done. That's it. I'm done. What I do next, I come here, I put alarms on, or put alerts on. You do have to get TradingView. You have to get an add-on on TradingView that costs you like $6 a month, I think. And it allows you to have over 10 alerts going at once. Once you have that, you're allowed to, geez, what the heck? You can add more alerts. I believe if you have just a regular free one, then you only are allowed to put like 1 or 2 alerts going. So I do recommend everybody does spend the extra $1 and go get that as well. Because anything that helps you with this, you need to invest in. Very simple. Okay, so once I have alerts going, I have it in my journal. I have the alerts set up. So now they will be on my phone because I have the TradingView app on my phone. And once it's on my phone, once it's on the computer, it goes directly to my phone. Once I have the alert set up, then I'm done. I'm done. So what's after this? What do I do after this? Well, very simple. It's 11:57. Chris's session starts in 3 minutes. The first thing that I'm doing is I'm logging into Chris's session. Okay. So it is golive.im. That is definitely not it. Golive.im. Oh, whoops. That is the account that you use, or sorry, the web browser that you use to get to the live sessions. I type in my password and my username. Okay, so now I am signed in. How do I get to Chris Derrick's session? Well, bingo. You see this smiley Asian right here? See this guy? Click it. It's very simple. Once I do that, now I am officially on his session. Okay, don't get discouraged when you see this. He just hasn't gone live yet. Once he goes live, you will see a play button right in the middle, and you'll see some chart or some personal development video on. You click that and you watch his session. What do I do then? I take notes. If you're new to this, take notes. Don't worry about asking questions. Don't worry about confusion. Take notes on what you think is important. Why? Why do you take notes? The reason why you take notes is because you can refer back to those notes when you go through the academy. So everything that you learn in the academy, you look at your notes that you made from Christopher Derrick's session every time you get on his session. This is not just a one-time thing. If you guys want to treat this as a business, be professional. Take notes. Treat it like a business. Once you have your notes ready, any questions that you have, because this is how I know people are taking it serious. Any questions that you have, you get on my call, you ask, you get the answers, then you go to this session, you do the same thing, develop a trading style, take the trades, bam. That's it. You guys understand that? Take notes. Go through the academy. Develop questions, because everyone on here that's new should have questions. Come on the call and ask the questions. Go back to the trade. Go back to Christopher Derrick's session. Watch it again, or watch the new ones. Develop your trading style. This should all be written down, by the way, guys that are new. After you have that, take trades. You should be doing that already as well, but start to really be professional when you take trades, and then duplicate, meaning teach somebody else how to do it. That's it. It's very simple, guys. It is now 12 o'clock. The session has now started. I thank everyone for getting on this call. If you received any type of breakthrough, if you received any type of knowledge, anything that's helped you with your journey, if you're new to this, welcome. If you have received anything that has helped you in some kind of form or fashion, go ahead and type a 111 in the chat right now. Thank you to everyone that got on this call. I appreciate it. This is the type of community and the type of the type of culture that we need to start creating. We need to continue to create this culture of love and abundance within every individual in this company and this team. All right, let's grow. Let's love each other, and let's develop levels of compassion and patience, stoicism, traits that a leader should have. Let's become the leaders that we would follow. And let's grow. Let's run it. But 2020 is ours today. It's ours, guys. All right. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. See you guys later.
Peace.